Okay, I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of the newest version of Manage Kharma. It's going to start with a login screen, so you would just choose who you are. I'm going to choose Kevin and hit OK. Here's the main search screen as usual. I'm going to cheat on the Googling and just put in an @ symbol. This will bring up everybody we have. I'll bring up Stephen Fakerson's account. And let's see if I can squeeze him on here. You're going to see a lot of the same stuff here. We can delete the tenant. We can add a past lease. This new feature is refresh. That'll actually, among other things, it'll redo the Christmas tree, but it also repopulates all of these various things with the latest information. So a new feature is tenant status. If we have somebody who, let's say we've sent them a handful of TRs and they haven't responded to any of them, this will actually get automatically set to TR unresponsive, but you'll be able to set some of these yourself. Also, we'll assign a case manager to these people. And I'm going to move over here to the leases tab. You'll see this is, as usual, the leases before, or the same leases we've had before. View manager, view lease. New feature is that you'll be able to open up more than one lease at a time. That's not working on this particular version, but it will be by the end of January 10th. Another feature is that you can send another TR email to somebody. It's going to pre-populate that address with the address that we have on file with them. But let's say they call and say, email my Yahoo account or something like that. You can hit OK, and it'll send that on along. Takes a second to wind up. It'll show a little pop-up saying rejected, mostly because that account doesn't work. But if we used one that does, for instance, we do Kevin Rush at rentalkarma.com. We'll send that on along, and it's going to say, ever so patiently, boom, there it is. So, lease payments, same as before. A new feature here will be that we can change this, set this to whatever. Another new feature that's not working as of this moment, but will be by January 10th, is the ability to change the amount here. So that's that. Another thing is you can send a monthly TR for a particular month. Again, this will be just a monthly update, so that's going to go out. As before, this would if you chose current and said mark all, it would mark all. Now you can either mark them all, or you can select them all, or you can select a handful. For instance, in this case it says mark all, or you can select, say, these three and say they're current, because that's what we have for them. This will also set the overall lease status to match the payment statuses, which means the lease status will be set to current. I'm going to say no on that one because this is only for October through, or August through October. So those are set to current. There's the January 7th upload date, or verified date. If we go to the lease and say view lease, you'll see it's still set there. Come over here and say set November, that they're 30 days late. And that'll set that there. Now, events, the usual. You see I just sent this TR request right here. Stripe payments, this guy doesn't have any, and store documents, this guy doesn't have any. So I'm going to close him and move to somebody else who should have more documentation. Yep. All right, so some of this you've seen before in the demos I gave you individually. We have a registration VOR release. To show this, you have to click on it and then click view, and there it is. It's kind of cool. You can, of course, resize this all you want. Zoom out. Now, this document is what we have stored online for them. Chances are very good we've already sent this to the property manager, but in case you want to resend it, we can. Now, this is going to pre-populate with what that property manager has, which is they're supposed to be a fax person, and here's their fax number. If they say, why don't you email it to me, it'll pre-pop at their email address, and you can, of course, change either one of these and send it off, and it'll fax to that email or that fax number, or to this email address. A new feature that's not implemented, what will be by January 10th, is if you change this, it will ask if you want to change that for this property manager as well. It doesn't work on this particular version, but it will in a couple of days. I'm going to send that off, and Cullen's going to get a surprise in his email box. And that's pretty much it. There are probably a couple other things we could walk through, but this gives you the highlights and shows you how to do what you need to do. Thanks a lot.